Yo, what's good, YouTube? Now I don't know if I really talked about this, but I was watching Trigonometry, and they had a guy on. They're talking about the whole Ukraine, Russia, America situation, and like the whole surrounding like thing going around about the whole peace deal and agreement and how they're going to work this out. And Trump's trying to stop the dying, which is the main objective, but everybody wants to get what looks like to me like final shots at the other person. Not literal shots, but just kind of posturing. And both Ukraine and Russia, their leaders have egos. And Trump is trying to manage that. And he's doing something that I would consider pretty street level, as if there were three rival gangs. Well, two main gangs are going at one of another. One slightly bigger, maybe the new kid on the block. One's bigger, kind of been running things, and they're going at it. Now, me, America, being the third gang who's trying to keep the peace, maybe seeing that the whole war between these two gangs would probably destroy the whole neighborhood, I'm trying to set up a deal to where the bigger guy, Russia, feels like he's gotten a good deal while still helping out the little guy without playing favoritism. You see how you have to balance all that? Let the bigger guy seem like he got a deal while helping out the little guy without showing favoritism. And this is what Trump did. He said, strike a peace agreement, but in exchange, we're going to make the little guy basically pay us with the mineral deal. So basically, because what was bound to happen, unless they kind of continually, unless other people actually got involved, is the little guy was going to get beat up. So we're basically saying, all right, let's stop the madness. And to make it seem like Russia's getting the better deal is we're actually charging Ukraine for our services to stop the dying. Now, Ukraine's trying to posture and talk about security guarantees, basically saying that if they were to come over here and mess with us again, I'm supposed to act like Big Brother and put a stop to it. But then what you just did is you flipped the script. If you make it seem like I'm willing to step in and fight your battles, I'm playing favoritism, which means the whole deal seems as if Ukraine got the upper hand. So now the security guarantees is basically like NATO security without officially being in NATO, which makes no sense. Now, that's not saying they can't have it. It just can't be as obvious. Well, guess what? If I'm charging you for my services to keep the peace, and it's an ongoing deal, you inherently have my protection as long as I value that money. So what it looks like is you're paying me for my services, but I'm also willing to step in to protect my money. Now, I'm protecting you by default, but I'm also there to protect my money. So to Russia, it won't necessarily look like I'm siding with you. I'm siding with the money. Now, I think Ukraine gets this, but they want to show their ass off in front of Russia. And it's like you're playing checkers while I'm trying to play chess. It makes no sense. And if this bickering and bullshitting around is going to keep the deal from going, I'm like, hey, you know what? Security guarantees, I'll give you a guarantee. Russia is guaranteed to whoop y'all's ass if we pull out our resources. I mean, even if we did pull it, like, until feet got on the ground from other countries, y'all are going to lose anyway. I can only give you so many guns if you don't got any men to hold the guns. You know what I'm saying? So I can keep giving you weapons, but if you don't have the men to hold the weapons, eventually that's gonna, you know, not work anyway. So eventually you're gonna need actual boots on the ground. And we're not doing boots on the ground because I'm not dying for your shit. Now we might die for some money if we make it if you're supposed to be paying us, that might be an incentive for us to go over there. But you don't want to have that because you want these formalized, signed fucking guarantees, security guarantees. I'm like, what are y'all? I'm like, dude, we're trying to give you the deal without being official. Now, I guess you could say, well, then, you know, we got to take your word. It's not. I'm like, look, even if it was fucking written down, America can go back on any fucking thing. Like, it's not. It's serious, but it's not that serious. It's like people have broken peace treaties plenty of times, and y'all are too small to do anything about it anyway. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? If it was a peace treaty between us and Russia and then we broke it, well then obviously they have the manpower to probably try to do something. Y'all wouldn't. So it's like, so even if I were to give you these guarantees, I'm like, we get back out at any time. It's as loose as the money that you're trying. Well, obviously we'll probably put more effort into getting the money because we're actually going to probably establish some type of American base there where we make sure we're getting the money because Ukraine is corrupt, just like Russia's corrupt. They both kind of shitty. So, but we're more likely to put boots on the ground, quote unquote, boots on the ground when it comes to getting that money. So, to wrap it all up, basically, America is like, okay, stop the war, peace. We're gonna charge Ukraine for the minerals, but inherently that gives you some level of protection because if Russia was to try to come over and take you over, well then they're taking over our facilities that are guaranteeing that we get the money that y'all owe us. Now Russia's gonna look like, ha ha, Ukraine has to pay y'all while they get to walk off. Say their troops stay alive, your troops stay alive, but you're stuck fitting a bill. So where it looks like Russia's getting a better deal because they don't owe any money, you technically have some level of protection because you owe us the money. And that's how I think it's working. But tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm overthinking it or whatever. But I'm just like the way they're talking about this shit. I'm just like y'all do not know what the fuck y'all talking about. But I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.